Mic check 1 2. Hey, Imad, check the sound. See how we sound on there. Mic check 1 2. Shalom, family. All praises. About to get started in a minute. Tonight is the Memoriall of Simon. We can't forget the memorials, y'all. We have to celebrate the memorials, man. They're important. So we hope everybody remembered that it's Memoriall of Simon tonight. How it sound? Is it too loud? Oh, it is? I don't want it to be an echo. Hold on 1 second. You know what I can do? Let's do this. It sounds clear though, just a slight echo you said.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, check it now. What about now? Mic check. Shalom online family. How does mic sound? Mic check 1 2. Is it an echo now? Mic check 1 2. Put it to your ear all the way. Yeah, let me do this. Sound low? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Mic check. Shalom family. All praises. About to get started in a second. Let me make sure this put sevens in the chat if I sound good. Okay, good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Turn it down over here. A little loud over here. By the speaker. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, yeah. That's a little. Turn it down a little bit more. 1 2 1 2 1 2. All praises, all praises, all praises, all praises, all praises, all praises, all praises. All right, we sound good. All right, shalom, family online. We hope everybody's having a beautiful, beautiful Sabbath. We're about to get started. We're gonna send up the prayers. Let's go ahead and do me a favor, Imad. Can you hold down security until some brothers get in here, and then after that, I want you to come in and watch the camera. All right. Raya, up there. Get Sire, we about to pray. All right, take him to mama. All praises. All right, family online, we about to get started. We're not gonna wait. We're not gonna hold y'all. We got a lot to read today. It's our Memoriall of Simon today. So we're gonna get started on time today. So everybody that's present, let's rise. Let's face the east. Let's send up the prayers to the Most High. Let's give all due glory and salutations to the Heavenly Father by His Son, Mashiach Yahushua. All praises. Dear Heavenly Father, we humbly come to you and we thank you for allowing us to be here together in the spirit of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Lord, we ask that you give us power. We ask that you give us peace. We ask that you give us justice. We ask that you give us clarity as we come to you to give your holy word and to remember one of your fallen soldiers, Lord, that is living in the heavens with you as we speak, Simon and his brothers, the Mattathias. Lord, we give you all the praise and honor and glory. In your son, Mashiach Yahushua's name, we humbly pray. Amen. Abanawa, Shabbat, Shemayam, Dash, Aya, Shimka, Yahabu, Malakika, Taba'a, Ratazayaka, Aya, Aisha, or Rataza, Kubo, Aya, Bashamayam, Nathanawa, Lakam, Zar, the one, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Pasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Wala'a, Dabayanawa, Ranasaiwan, Kabo, Hawashainawa, Mana, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wala'ala, Rada, Ra, Ra'aya, Wadi Hawa, Wadi
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Amen. All praises. Man, Salaki, man, I had my head covered, man. Dang, y'all brothers should stone me in here, man. Shoot, I was tripping. All praises to the family online. Huh? You said what? Oh yeah, man. Shoot, y'all should have let me know, man. All of y'all stoned in here, man. Man, we all suspended. Now how it works is I gotta stone y'all first. Then I get stoned. You know what I mean? All praises, man. Yeah, Sister Leah said, I knew something was off. Yeah, man, I had my hair covered, man. Forgive me, Father, for the dishonor in my head. It was not purposely. You know, here at BLW, we teach that we dishonor our head if we do not, you know, have our heads covered. I mean, if we have our heads covered while we pray to the Most High. So, Sis Bar was saying something. She was saying something in the spirit. All praises, man. The Most High know my heart. All praises. Well, first and foremost, I want to say this. Happy Memorial of Simon. I want everybody to understand. I know a lot of camps, they don't recognize Simon. You know, what I mean by that is a lot of camps, they don't, I'm not saying that they don't recognize it in a sense, but they don't recognize it to where they have it as a priority to acknowledge it, have a celebration for the things that our forefathers done and went through, right? So we want to memorialize those fallen soldiers of our people that, you know, put in work for the Most High, that fought for the Most High. Put sevens in the chat. Some of you guys been in the truth for a while. Some of you guys been watching Bow for a while. Put sevens in the chat if you know about the story of Simon, right? The Memorial of Simon. Put sevens in the chat if you've heard this story, if you know who Simon is, if you know who the Maccabees are. Put sevens in the chat. I had asked a sister that was actually in the truth. I asked her, do she know anything about Memorial of Simon? She said she didn't. And that kind of threw me off. You know, we got a lot of new Israelites coming in the truth. And we got a lot of, you know, brothers, you know, camps or whatever the case may be, that they don't really harp on the memorials like that. You know, but me, I harp on a memorial just because they're not Sabbaths. And even though tonight is the Sabbath, so make sure everybody understand tonight is the Sabbath, but the Memorial of Simon is not a Sabbath. Can we close that door? I know it's kind of loud. I'm sorry, brothers. All right. Memorial of Simon is not a Sabbath, but tonight is the Sabbath because it's our Shabbat. It's our 7-day Sabbath. But a lot of camps, a lot of brothers, they don't keep these memorials, and they don't think these memorials are anything to be, you know, held in great honor and great respect, right? Not to the point where they don't honor our forefathers, but it's just not something that's taken seriously. Here at BOW, we take the memorial seriously, right? We want to make sure that we honor, you know, we want to make sure that we remember how our forefathers fought for our people, right? So when we keep these things in a memorialization, let me read the definition of memorial real quick. So I got it right here. A memorial is something created or used to honor, remember, or commemorate a person, event, or a cause. So when we say Memorial of Simon, right, what we mean is that he fought for a cause. What was that cause that he fought for? Him and his brothers. They fought to defeat our enemies. They fought to not to allow our enemies to prevail and to win. If he gets fussy, take him to the back. If Sire gets fussy, take him to the back. You hear me, Maya? All right. So yes, Simon fought to preserve our culture. Simon fought to defend our laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So we have to remember that. Like, I remember being an Israelite, and I remember hearing about the memorials, right? Memorial of Simon being one of the main ones. And I remember thinking how strong and courageous they were. And it made me feel even stronger to want to go harder for the Most High and his commandments. So I vow to make these memorials special every time. Even though they're not Shabbats, me personally, I still call off work. I still call off work. I still make the work. Take him to the back. Maya, take him to the back. Take Sire to the back. All right, I don't want no distractions for this. Take him to the back. All right. I still call off work. I still make sure that I keep these days the same way we would recognize Passover. That's just me. Not saying you got to do it that way. But anything dealing with my people, I'm going to make sure that I honor it to the utmost. Any cultural event, right? So to me, it's like what in America, what do we have? We have what? Memorial's Day, right? In America, we have Memorial's Day. Right? Some of us, we don't have work on Memorial's Day, right? So we have Memorial's Day. Memorial's Day. What is Memorial Day? I don't even know what a Memorial's Day is about. What is Memorial Day about? Tahar, you know? Yeah, the soldiers, right. So Memorial's Day is about the soldiers that died in America's battles, right? Quote unquote. That's Memorial's Day, right? So the same way America honors their fallen, we're gonna and it's crazy because in the world we honored that. We had barbecues on Memorial Day. We had get-togethers on Memorial Day, right? This is our memorial. This is how we recognize our fallen. And I will always give honor to these great, great men. So a memorial is something created or used to honor, remember, or commemorate a person, event, or cause. I'm going to do these classes for tonight. I'm going to do this class for tonight as if it's somebody that's brand new that's never heard about Memorial Simon. So if you've heard about this and you've been in the truth for a while, just sit tight to hear it again. Matter of fact, next year, when we do it again as a memorial, make sure you bring somebody to your house that ain't never heard it before. Try to tell somebody to watch class that ain't never heard about Simon before, because these are our fallen soldiers that we represent and that we love and that we cherish and that we will forever honor and give glory. Khan? All praises. So let's start this story off right. You know where we got to go. We got to go to First Maccabees. We got to set the tone because I want you guys to understand just how great Simon was. There was so many great men in the Bible. You know, Mordecai, which is Mordecai's day, which is Purim, you know, is one great man. You know, we keep Purim as a memorial as well. You know, but Simon has to be remembered, man. One of the greatest, I would say one of the greatest in the Bible. So let's set the tone. Let's go to First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1.
Read.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
So if you don't know about the Apocrypha, all right, for those that might be watching for the first time, you might have not heard about the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is a part of the King James canon. It was a part of the canon. It was taken out by Martin Luther, right? You could do your research on the Apocrypha. In Catholicism, they still have the Apocrypha in their Bibles. So the Apocrypha is a part of the KJV, the original 1611 KJV Bibles, until Martin Luther under the Protestants, which through the Protestant Reformation, which is where you get your new Christianity, right? They took it out because they felt it was non-canonical. But we understand that it was in the original KJV, and it is canonical because it actually is the fulfilling of the prophecies in Daniel dealing with Greece. All right. So when it says Alexander, this is actually Alexander, who America calls the Great, but we call the freak, right? Because he was a freaky man, right? If you do your history on him. So this is, or you could call him AKA Alexander the Greek. Okay. So this story takes place. All right. This story takes place in Hellenized, the Hellenization era. Okay. The Hellenization era is when the Greek Empire was going around making everybody Greeks. Okay, it's called the Hellenization period, right? From about 333 onward, right? So, you know, you had a lot of people that were conforming to the Greek fashion and the Greek customs. All right. So we just got to set the tone and set the story for those that may have never heard this story before, in respect to Simon and his brothers, right? Let's read.
And it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian,
Read.
who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes,
Read.
that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
All right. So this is Greece, setting the tone, the who, what, when, where, and why, right? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. All right. So who is involved? Greece. Greece is the main protagonist. That's what it is? The protagonist, right? So Greece is the protagonist. What's the opposite of the protagonist? Antagonist. Israel would be the antagonist. Greece would be the protagonist, meaning Greece is the ones that are the ones that are the evil nation coming against Israel, right? Let's read.
And made, verse 2, and made many wars and won many strongholds.
All right. And Greece was a powerful kingdom. They won many wars. They won many strongholds. They were taking out kingdoms left and right. Okay. They were destroying nations, right? Read.
And slew the kings of the earth.
And they destroyed many kings of the earth. Conquered Egypt. Conquered the Persians and Medes. Right? Greece was on a conquer spree. They were the next nation up. Read.
Verse 3.
Oh, antagonists. Okay, Salaki, I had it mixed up. Y'all gave me wrong information, man. Yeah, hey man, hold on. Hey man, y'all getting stoned twice for that, man. I got people in the chats like, man, what is about to talk about? So the Greece is the antagonist. I should have known that. They're antagonists. And Israel was the protagonist. All right. All right. Look. Hey, that's strike 2. Y'all let me pray with my head covered. All right. And then y'all getting me mixed up. That's strike 2. 3 strikes. We're gonna take y'all to the back, get y'all old-fashioned stoning. All right. So Israel is and Aaliyah, you stoned too. Aaliyah, you supposed to catch me on that. You supposed to be the wordologist. I just made that up. The wordologist, right? But nah, so Israel is the antagonist, the protagonist, and Greece is the antagonist. They are the enemies. So they're destroying all of the nations, right? So we're setting the tone to the story. So this is the who. Now we're getting into the what's happening, right? Greece is conquering the world, the known world at that time. Let's read.
Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth.
And he went through to the ends of the earth. Read.
And took spoils of many nations.
The Egyptians, the Persians and Medes, Babylon, whatever remnant that was left. Greece was taking everybody out. Read.
Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
All right. The earth was quiet before him. Right. The earth was quiet. No one could stand against Alexander the Greek freak. Read.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Right. His as Esau's heart is always lifted up, he got lifted up. This is why we can't save all nations, y'all. We cannot save all nations. They got to be repaid for the evil that they done unto our forefathers. So his heart got lifted up. Read.
And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things, he fell sick.
He got sick. Now, y'all better not get this wrong. What did he die from? Syphilis. All right. He died from syphilis. Okay. He got sick and he died. He died a freaky man. What's that saying? Freaky old Greek, he a 69 guy. All right. He a freaky old Greek, he a 69 guy. He died from a STD, as we would call it. Read.
And perceived that he should die.
Read.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth.
Now, kind of y'all not here right now, so he can't bail y'all out. Who's the servants?
4 generals.
Who was the 4 generals? Seleucus, Cassander, Ptolemy, Lysimachus. He split his kingdom up into what's known as a tetrarchy. A tetrarchy is he split his kingdom up into 4 divisions. Okay. Asia Minor, you had Asia Minor, Egypt, the Seleucid Empire. Like he divided it up right? To 4 empires, his 4 generals, they took over, right? Read.
And had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Read.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Read.
So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
You notice how every time Esau has dominion and the other nations have dominion, evils are always multiplied in the earth. That's always the ever-ending thing. This is why Christians don't understand I gotta talk about the Gentile salvation. Christians don't understand that the Most High is dealing with nations. He's not dealing with religion. God is never dealing with religion. He's not dealing now he's, in a sense, if you want to argue, well, yeah, in a sense he's dealing with the false worship of idol gods, but the Most High is still, you forgot that there's idol worship attached to nations. They just got smart and called it religion. But all the different religions all date back to a specific nation of people. That's why modern day Christianity goes to ancient. What nation does modern day Christianity go back to? Rome. The Roman councils. That's what gave you your Christianity today. The Council of Nicaea, the Council of Trent, all of your Roman councils is what gave your is what set the precedence for your modern day Christianity. So every time the heathen nation got in power, the evils in the world will always multiply. But it's crazy because Babylon was in power, the Persians and Medes was in power, but when the white man got in power, it says it was multiplied further. He had to put a emphasis on that because Israel didn't have power. So it was multiplied. Evils was multiplied in the world, right? Let's see what happened. Read.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
Now this is the wicked of the most wicked, vile person ever. Antiochus comes up. He comes up. In the book of Daniel, it calls him that little horn that uprooted the other horns. He came up from among the 4 generals, and he was worse than the 4 generals. Read.
Son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
All right, so he began to have power over the kingdom of the Greeks. Okay, so now we got the who, we got the antagonist, which is the Greeks. We got the protagonist, which is the Israelites. Well, I gotta be honest, there's some antagonist Israelites too, as we're gonna read in the next verse, because Israel started to be wicked as well. Israel always want to go follow after the heathen. So now we're getting to who, we're getting to what's happening, right? The Greeks coming into power, they're taking over all the nations. When is this taking place? In the 3rd century BC. Okay, this is when this is taking place. Where is it taking place? In the regions of Asia Minor, from Asia Minor to Egypt to Israel, right? To Turkey, right? Or modern day Turkey, so on and so forth. Okay. And now we're going to see how all of this is going to transpire at the end of how and why Simon and his brothers had to come up and defend righteousness. All right, so let's read.
Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
So it was wicked men in Israel. We can't sugarcoat that. Israel always want to be wicked. We always going to have that wicked root. So some wicked men came up out of Israel. And what did they do? Read.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Read.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
When did they depart from the heathen? See if somebody know their history. When did they depart from the heathen? Does anybody know?
Persians and Medes.
The Persians and Medes. Right? Under Xerxes, right? Okay, the Persians and Medes. All right. So when we got the decrees to allow us to go and rebuild and rededicate our temple after Babylon destroyed it, that's when we parted. But remember, the other nations were trying to constantly destroy us. That's where we get feasts like Purim and so on and so forth. Okay, so We had some wicked Israelites. They like, man, since we left the heathens, sound just like how they sounded in Egypt, huh? Since we left Egypt, since we left bondage, since we left the heathens, we've been in torment since then, right? Nations coming up against us to fight us, because the nations understood that if you allow Israel to rebuild, the power and dominion that they have is no more. Okay, so let's keep reading.
So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king.
So they went to Antiochus. Some of the Israelites were so wicked that they went to Antiochus. They said, I got to go to Antiochus. We would rather go to Antiochus so that we could be with the heathen. Read.
Who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Okay, so Antiochus like, I think it's okay. You don't gotta listen to your God. Come on over. Come to the Greek culture. Come make a covenant with us. Okay, read.
Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
And they built up places in exercise, these gymnasiums, aka the places of nakedness. So they built up these places. It sounds similar like today, right? What we do today? We building places of exercise. Our sports. You notice every sport, you notice is dang near naked. Basketball remember they used to have the little shorts in basketball? Look at track and field. Look how they run in track and field. Women ain't got nothing on, butt naked. Right? Look at wrestling. Look at boxing. Look at most of the sports we have is us. We have to be naked. It's especially the Olympics. The Olympics show you just the vastity, the veracity of all of the sports that have us naked, from track and field to shot put. Like you ain't got no clothes on in shot put, and they got clothes on, but the clothes is tight. Now you can see the brothers bulge, and you can see the woman's all that.
And how does that help you shot put?
I don't even know how to help you shot put.
Like wearing the title clothes, how's that gonna help you do that? That doesn't change nothing.
It don't change nothing. And you know what's funny? To your point, so I ran track. If any of y'all ever ran track, sometimes we didn't like to wear them tight fitting like shorts. So it was like, man, just give me the loose ones. The loose ones is worse than the tight ones. Loose ones is worse than the tight ones. You better off wearing the tight fitting shorts, because the loose fitting shorts, you ain't got no protection. It's like they want you to be naked. Right? So this is where we get our sports from. Right? This is where that's why if you think about it, the Olympics, they got the 3 rings and all that. All that's Greek culture. All of that is Greek culture. Right? So Israel, that's what we want to do. It's no different than Jake today. No different than Jake today. What Jake want to do? All they want to do is train their boys to be football players. That's all we want to do. Basketball players. Earlier on, you got your son, little kid. You training him. He failed his father if he didn't make the NFL draft. That's for real. That's all we want to do is play sports. Right? So let's keep reading.
Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised.
And we stopped keeping the law. We stopped circumcising our children. I say it all the time. When you read, this is why it's important to read these stories. This is why it's important to read these stories. Because the Most High, when you read these stories, you had people dying for the word, dying to preserve the laws of God, just for the Most High to get to the New Testament and take it away. So you telling me they died for nothing? So that's what we're telling them, right? They died for nothing. They was uncircumcising their children and all that, and those that didn't want to do that and participate in that, as we're gonna read, they had to die for that. But then we get to the New Testament and we say we don't gotta be circumcised no more. Right? Christianity makes all of the depths of the Israelites vain. Christianity is diametrically opposed to being an Israelite. Christianity is an anti-Israelite religion. Somebody might say, well, why do you say that? We love everybody. No, you don't. Because your whole religion is based off of there's no more Israel. Christianity is an anti-Israelite religion because it gets rid of Israel, and now anybody can be an Israelite. Have y'all ever noticed that? Christians attack Israelites. Y'all killed Jesus, and y'all did this, and y'all was wicked, and y'all was this, and y'all was that, and y'all was this. Christianity hates Israelites.
They demonize us, huh? They demonize Israelites.
Yep, they demonize us. And not only do they demonize us, they're trying to destroy our seed line. No more Israelites, no more. According to them, everybody's spiritual Israel. The church. Understand? So, but guess what, Israel? We still here. And what did the Most High say? Unless the sun and the moon depart, Israel would never cease from being a nation. So we still here. Right? So let's keep reading. Read.
Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Now when
So now let's go from there. So let's get to the point. So now let's go to let's read verse 24 or 23.
Verse 23. He took also the silver.
Let's read 21.
Verse 21. And entered proudly into the sanctuary.
So, well, you know what? Let's read 20. Let's go ahead and just read 20. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 143rd year.
Read.
And went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Read.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof.
So that's been the nation's whole sole purpose, is to get rid of Israel. But it is our fault, because what did we do? We went to him. Oh, we want to be with you. We want to be like you. And then what did the nations always do? They backstab us, right? But we backstabbed ourselves. So Antiochus turned against us. He destroyed our temple, took away our sanctuary, right? Got rid of the candlesticks. Read.
And the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver, and the gold, and the precious vessels, and he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly.
So I'm setting the precedence. This is at a time that Israel is in its highest point of war. This is in a time of one of the most wicked times to be in the earth. This is a time where Israel wanted to make a covenant with the heathen and be wicked. This is a time where war and destruction is all around us. So I want to set the tone for you guys so you can understand that this is not a good time for Israel. This is a bad time for Israel. Okay? This is a horrible time for Israel. Read.
Verse 25. Therefore there was great mourning in Israel.
This is the time of great mourning in Israel. Read.
In every place where they were.
Every place. Imagine that. Mourning is not just like a little soft cry. Mourning is like a bitter weep. So this is the great mourning in all of the land of Israel. So this is not a happy days in Israel. This is sad days. This is war. This is destruction. This is pain. Right? This is the times that we living in. I got to set this tone for you so you can understand how great of a man Simon actually was. And can I be honest with y'all tonight? How less of men we are today. Just keeping it a buck. It's like we are like reading this story every year. All right, this is what period time is this? This is 300 BC. All right, 300 BC. Okay, it's 300 BC. All right, this is during the time of the Greeks. Okay, 300 BC. So this is a time of great mourning. This is a time of destruction. This is a time where the Greeks were massacring our people and taking our language and destroying our culture and forbidding us to be circumcised and forbidding us to keep the laws of God. Okay? Show you what type of man Simon is. Read.
Verse 26. So that the princes and the elders mourn, the virgins and
everybody was mourning. The princes, the elders, the virgins, the young men. Read.
Were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness.
Read.
The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof.
Read.
And all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired.
So that means Jacob, because you know what the heathens would do is they would destroy us and then they would put another nation in our land. So Israel was completely removed from the land. We were getting shipped out. We were getting destroyed. We were completely destroyed, and it was nothing but confusion all around us. This is a time of war. Just imagine being in that time period like that, right? Read. Watch this. Read.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent
so for 2 years, for 2 complete years, we was going through straight turmoil under Antiochus. Read.
The king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah.
And we had to pay tribute, right? Read.
Who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude and spake peaceable words unto them.
So he said, oh, Israel, I know I've been destroying you. I know I've been killing you. I know I stole all your gold and I took everything from you and I've been ravishing your women and your kids. But I'm sorry for that. I come in peace.
That was in the past.
That was in the past. Forgive me. You know one thing like funny about Esau, he never changes. He does the same thing in every time period when he's in power. He's the only people that was ever destroyed us and then spoke peaceable to us after. And you notice that? Like Babylon, they didn't do that. When Babylon destroyed us, they kept us. They didn't just talk peaceable to us. The Edomites, they always do that. They destroy us and they say, I'm sorry about that. My bad. That was in the past. Can we move on? I wasn't there. It was my forefathers. That wasn't me. Right? That's what he did. He spoke peaceable words. Watch what happened. Read. We got to learn from these stories. Read.
And spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit.
But deceit was in his heart. Deceit was in. Just like he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to ship the jobs out of the black communities, the Mexican communities. And once I ship the jobs out of the communities and now you can't live because all of the jobs, isn't it ironic and convenient that during the time of the 50s and the 60s and all of that, all of the jobs that the minorities were working all got shipped out. They took the jobs away from so-called black and Latino people. And then he said, you know what? Hey, sisters, y'all need some help over there with them kids, huh? That deadbeat man ain't doing nothing for you. You know what? I got some aid for you. Here you go. I'll help you with some welfare. But the man can't be in there.
That's crazy.
And you know what? You men, y'all stressed out because I took the jobs from you and I'm breaking up your homes through the welfare system. Here, I got something that'll ease your mind. Here's some crack cocaine for you. Here you go. Go ahead and smoke that. Go ahead. I'll, build it up. Because y'all got to understand, at that time, there was no such thing as crack cocaine and all that. And cocaine was a drug that everybody did. It wasn't like you could go to jail for years, hundreds of years back then. It was like, it wasn't nothing like that. See, y'all thinking in this time, I know the old OGs in the building. Y'all know what it was. Back then, everybody was on coke. Now, for real, let's be honest. Like, everybody was taking coke. Now, when crack came out, right? When crack came out, That completely was a whole nother world. And that was the black. They gave us that crack for the cheap. And then he said, we ain't gonna lock you up for cocaine, because we know all the white people do the cocaine. We gonna lock you up for the crack.
The crack that they gave them.
The crack that they gave us. And then he said, oh, I'm sorry again. Hey, after we destroyed your families for a century or whatever, however long, you know, that for all throughout the 80s, you know what? Then we're gonna get the DARE program for you. Y'all remember DARE? Don't do drugs. Now you're promoting don't do drugs after you gave us the drugs. That's Esau. He destroy you, then speak peaceable to you. He destroy you, then speak peaceable to you. He says, you know what? You got pregnant, but ain't no good, man. That crackhead, you shouldn't have his baby. Here's abortions for you. I'm helping you. Gotta have that man, baby. Who wants that baby with a crackhead? Here you go. Here's abortions. Don't that sound like Antiochus? Hey, I destroyed you. No harm, no foul. All right. It's all good. That sounds crazy when you say it like that, huh? But that's history. But we gotta forget about it. Then you get like cats like Charlie Dirt. No, I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. We call him Charlie Dirt. Right? You get cats like Charlie Dirt, yeah. And I lost my job because of Charlie Dirt, but I'm still talking about it. You get cats like Charlie Dirt that come and tell you, see, it wasn't that bad. Get over it. Now you can go to college. Forget what happened in the 80s. Now you can go to college. Shut up and go to college. But mind you, you only can go to one of them Ivy League colleges if you dribbling the ball or getting in millions of dollars of debt or thousands of dollars in debt. That's how Esau do. But we got to kumbaya and hold hands with the devil. See that? He did the same thing during this time. Watch this. Read. What'd he do? Read.
Verse 30. Verse 31. Mm-hmm. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, Read. He set it on fire and poured down the houses and walls thereof. So
us being Israel, you know, Israel love everybody, don't we? Israel love everybody but Israel. Ain't that crazy? Even today, every video I see of a Jake whooping an Edomite tail online, the Edomite be giving it to the brother. Brother be stumbling all that. But you know, it take us sometimes when we get caught off guard, it take us a minute to regroup, and then we start wailing on the Edomite, and then it's like, oh no, everybody. Then it's like once the Jake start winning, no, stop. But when the Edomite was winning, nobody said nothing. Y'all notice that? Every fight, and it be our own people that do it. The Jake be getting tossed around a little bit. He discombobulated because Edomite tried to sneak hit him or whatever he trying to get, and then he finally regrouped and he started wailing on, bah. And I be sitting there like, yes. You know, occasionally they be getting us, and I be like, dang. But when we regroup, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, yes, get him. And then you hear that one black lady in the back? No, stop. But where was the no stop when the Edomite was whooping on us? Israel loved the nation so much, and it's so funny. We the same. Now, when black people fighting, how many people you even hear say stop? When Shanika and Stephanie fighting, you don't hear nothing. You know what you hear? Beat her ass! Beat her ass! Beat her ass! That's what you hear. And then they don't stop it or don't say stop occasionally unless Jake get knocked out. Then if a Jake knock a Jake out, then it's like, all right, that's it. But it's like, no, stop. And that's rare. Sometimes they let them hit him a couple times.
They'll encourage you. They'll be like, stop him out. Stop him.
Stop him. Yeah, y'all know the famous World Star. That's old school. World Star. Like, our people, we hate each other. But we love that white man, something vicious, I tell you. We love him. We love him bad. You know what I mean? We love him so bad. So it was the same thing here. So we let him back in, and what did he do to us as soon as we let him back in? Read.
That's like I forgot a part of verse 30.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, read it.
Verse 30.
Good, we here.
For when he had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore.
And we never learn our lesson. We never learn our lesson. How we going, man, what I look like letting the Edomite, you should let the Edomites in so they can serve in your class. Hell no. Excuse my language, I got to be honest. Do y'all see how they infiltrated the Black Panthers? Do y'all see how they infiltrated all of the, man, you would be crazy to let an Edomite in the middle of your ranks. I don't trust no Edomite. The best thing he can do for me is get out my way. I deal with him. I render what's his when I have to do that at work. You know what I mean? But in my own private life, I don't want no Edomite around me. How we going to trust them? Over the years, they've never shown themselves to be trustworthy. I mean, didn't Iran just prove that to you? They bombed Iran out of nowhere. Iran was like, we was just having peace talks. Why you bomb now? Granted, we don't care about Iran either. But the point is, there's no honor among the devil. Devil's like, yeah, go ahead and sign that peace treaty. Yeah, we peace talks. Yeah. Go ahead, press the button, bomber. He told the Indians, oh yeah, I won't mess with this land. You have my word. Next thing you know, you hear, like, I thought you said you don't mess with that land. We actually need to dig right here. We need to move, and it doesn't matter what that peace treaty says. It's going to take a long shot for you to sue us and win anyway. This is what Esau does. Because he's a devil. So he did the same thing to Israel during the time of 300 BC. Read.
And destroyed much of the people of Israel.
And he killed a lot of us. Read.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and poured down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
Because you know, Esau, you ever met an Edomite that was cool with you, but then he still hates you? Esau just don't like you for just no reason. He just smile in your face and all that, be cool with you.
Give that one smile at.
Then he backstabbing you to the boss. Like, why you do that to me? Why you do that to me? I had they just got a perpetual hatred for us. I had an Edomite that I worked with before I lost the job that I had before. I had an Edomite that when I first met him, old Edomite, shop steward, Aladad. You know, he ain't doing nothing for us, right? But iron workers, so you understand, right? You know, them iron workers, they be racist. Anyway, when he first met me, he was all, hey, kid, you know, all that talking and stuff. I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? We're talking or whatever. See him. One day I come into work, he just mad for no reason. Come in there, take his fall protection off and throw it in my office and says, here, check this. Huh? First of all, where did this come from? Second of all, what you think this is what, 1919 in the deep south? What you think going on here? It's just random. Like Esau, like he just has that innate just disdain for you. You understand? You ever been in a position, whether it was at work or something like that, a prestige position, and he just, you know, Edom might be like, yeah, so what are you here for? And does that smile? Like, I'm in such and such position. Oh, really? Wow, you're so smart.
Like they surprised you worked.
Yeah, like it's like a surprise. Oh, yeah, you're surprised, huh? And then they scrutinize your work. They scrutinize your work harder than everybody. It's like other white boys, I'm telling you, don't get it twisted. All the white boys ain't smart. Some of them dumb. A lot of them dumb, can't read, the same thing. Trust me. I do. I'm a safety manager. I'll be like, hey, here, white, read this toolbox talk. He sounded just as dumb as a box of rocks. So not all Edomites are smart. But then for some reason, with you, they got to make sure they Gotta catch you. It's like they gotta belittle you in some way. And this is the same spirit that Antiochus had with the Israelites. It's like, okay, I'm cool, peaceable, but then as soon as I get in your cities, I'm like, your cities are so nice and so plush and so, oh, nah, destroy all this. That's how Esau is. And that's what our people don't learn. Watch this, read.
Verse 32. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them.
So they took over the city of David. They made it a stronghold for themselves. I'm giving you guys the background of what's happening, how bad it is. I'm giving you the background of how Israel is being destroyed. They took down everything. They built up strong walls, fortified it as a wicked nation, as an evil nation. Fortified the walls with all type of idolatry. Took your wives, ravished your women, killed your children. Don't it sound familiar? Killed your young men, took them as slaves. Read. So this is the criteria that we're faced to live in. Watch this. Read.
Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation.
And they're going to put other nations in your city. We're going to put the most wicked and sinful nation. That's what they did. Didn't they do that now? They did that with the small hats. Go do your research on the small hats. When I say small hat, y'all know who I'm talking about, but y'all don't know who I'm talking about, you know? They might strike the channel. You got to speak in code. So y'all know who I'm talking about, but really you don't know who I'm talking about. So the small hats, they put the small hats over there, right? Over there, you fill in the blank. I don't know. It could be over in Inglewood somewhere. We don't know. But you do know. So put the small hats over there. If you go do your research, why did they randomly just want to put those people over there? Like, it don't even make sense. It's like they just randomly start taking Germans and putting them over there. Random. They didn't ask them what their birthright was. They didn't say, do they got their record? Why is it when you say you're an Israelite, people got to ask you, where's your records? Do you do that with the small hats? Oh, it be you black Christians, man. Sometimes I can't stand you black Christians. I'm going to be real tonight. Can I be real with y'all tonight? I can't stand the black Christian. The black Christian is the worst thing since Django and Samuel L. Jackson. Ain't nothing worse than a black Christian. Boy, I tell you. Black Christian will go to a KK rally and hug them to protect them from you beating them. That's what a black Christian to do. Black Christian tell you, shut up, you from Compton. But a black Christian won't question a small hat. Some of y'all might not like this lesson tonight. This a real lesson tonight. So, yeah, they don't question the small hat.
Fred Price Jr. said we don't know how to keep the feast day.
No. Now, I got a question for y'all. Something that make y'all go, This a Christian nation, right? Right?
Right.
Supposedly.
This Christian nation, right? When the Christians tell you trying to be an Israelite, they be like, y'all killed Jesus, y'all did this, y'all was wicked, y'all was this, but we give millions of dollars to them off the strength of them being Jews. And then the black church prays for them. But then when you say you're a Jew, they talk bad about the Jews. So I've never heard a black Christian, when I was growing up, talk bad about Israel. Matter of fact, one of the churches I went to, they would pray for Israel. We got to pray for Israel. Matter of fact, one of the biggest Christian networks, TBN, they talk about Israel, how we got to protect them, and talk about how the Arabs are Esau. I can't put his head down. But here's the hypocrisy. once we find out we the people, because that's why I was so excited. I'm like, oh, because I heard about how the Jews are special. You know, the church, the black church told me how the Jews are special and how we got to pray for Israel and all of that. So when I found out we was Israel, it blew my mind, the fact that it's like, we don't want to be Israel either no more. Now it's spiritual Israel. So the church teaches that it's spiritual Israel. It's no more physical Israel, but yet they're fighting to protect a physical Israel. Does that make sense?
So that's hypocrisy.
Things that make you go, That's hypocrisy, ain't it?
Man, for real. That's straight hypocrisy.
So it's a no more physical Israel, but we got to protect the physical Israel and give them millions of dollars a year. Sounds like what Antiochus did, huh? He put a wicked nation in the land, didn't he? Watch what he says. Read. Watch this.
And verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
Read.
They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there.
Don't that sound like what they did? They gathered the spoils of Jerusalem, put a wicked nation in there. Now I'm going to tell you, out of all the Edomites in the world, the wicked of the most wicked is the Amalekites. And y'all know who they are. Y'all know who we talking about. If you don't know, they got an ish on the end of their name. Them Amalekites are some evil people. Them Amalekites, man, look. Everything evil in the world has something to do with an Amalekite. The Ishi people. All of that.
They run Hollywood. That says enough.
And you know what's so crazy? They the only people you can't talk about. You got to be careful if you talk about them Ish people. Hey, y'all know the dude. Y'all know the young dude. What's the young dude? That King David, y'all know the dude, King David, that little funny comedian dude, King David. He used to go to the Jewish synagogues and all that and talk about y'all ever seen that dude, King David dude? Y'all know who he is. Y'all probably just don't remember. The one that used to always go mess with the Jews in New York, right? Little short comedian dude, right? Boy, they got that boy. Let me show y'all. You know what? I ain't even gonna show it because I don't want them to strike the video. But they got him on video apologizing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess with y'all. I didn't know y'all was this powerful. I'm sorry. Forgive me. You can't mess with them people. It's the same thing in the time of Antiochus. Put a wicked, sinful nation in there. Give them the Holy Land. You got to think. In my mind, you're supposed to be God's chosen people, and you got the second highest sugar tank parade in the world. You got to be careful now with YouTube, man. Yeah. YouTube will strike. You can't. Remember the days we could speak freely? Can't speak freely like that no more. But that's real. They're not keeping none of God's commandments, but yet we ship hundreds of their people into our land every year. That's what America does. Watch this. Read.
And so they became a sore snare. Verse 36.
Read.
For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary.
Read.
And defiled it.
Read.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her.
Read verse 41. So strangers was there, and they filled the inhabitants of our land with strangers. Read.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws.
Read.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
Right? So our people started to be wicked. We started to profane the Sabbath. We started to do evil things, right? So now let's move on because I want to get to the story. Let's go now. So I just wanted to set the tone for y'all of the climate of what was going on at that time in Israel. So you can know exactly how great of a man Simon was because he rebelled against this when there was danger all around and no hope in sight. Let's go to chapter 2 and let's read verse 1. I got to read this before we get to Simon. Read.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John.
So now Mattathias, which was a Levite, which was a great man, a man of honor. He was an Israelite. He was a man of honor. He arose. Let's see what Mattathias did. Read. We're going to get to Simon in a minute. Read.
The son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
So he was a priest. Okay, let's read.
And he had 5 sons.
Read.
Johanan, called Caddis, Simon, called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar, called Avaron, Jonathan, whose surname was Apphus.
And all his sons, every single one of his sons, for the sake of time, we're not going to read about every one of his sons, but on your own time, go read the book of Maccabees. Every one of his sons was warriors. I hope every one of my sons are warriors the same way. Every single one of his sons were warriors. Every single one. They stood on business. So they arose during a time where Jerusalem was being destroyed, taken over, ransacked, our women being raped, our kids being killed, our men being killed. They arose and they stood up. And let's see what they said. Read.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the land of into the hand of the enemy.
So Simon comes from a powerful father. He comes from a powerful father. See, this is why it's important for us to remember this. And we can't forget this, Israel. As long as I breathe, I would never let Israel forget about Memorial Simon. Because if we don't do this every year, I know people be thinking that, we don't give no love to the memorials. It's kind of sad, really. We really don't respect the memorials like we should. If we don't keep this alive, we forget their sacrifice. It's up to us to keep them alive. That's the least we could do, is keep their names alive. It's a shame when I ask an Israelite, do you know about Memorial of Simon? And they say, what now? I don't know about. Where can I find that one at? That is sad when I hear that. You should know about your forefathers. You should know about Simon. You should know about Maccabeus, Judas. You should know about Jonathan. You should know about these great men. Put 7s in the chat if you vow to keep their story alive. Say con if you vow to keep their stories alive. Come on, brother. That was a weak con, man. Can we get a con, brothers? Thank you. Mattathias would have been like, what kind of con is that? Brother said con. Come on, brothers. Give me one more con, brothers.
Con.
You. We keep our brothers' names alive. It's for real, man. Like, this ain't no, like, these stories are real. These brothers gave their life. We cannot forget this. We cannot forget the memorials, man. They're important. Let's read.
Verse 8. Her temple is become as a man without glory.
Read.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity.
Read.
Her infants are slain in the streets.
Read.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
Read.
What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman she has become a bondslave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty, our glory is laid waste. and the Gentiles have profaned it. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer?
Imagine this. In the 21st century, because y'all do know Mattathias died. I mean, Mattathias didn't get killed. He died. But you do know most of Mattathias, all of Mattathias' sons died. Y'all do know that, right? Imagine in the 21st century, they died and they didn't get no revenge for the sins of the Gentiles. And now in the 21st century Black Christian church, when the Edomite died, they could go to heaven right with Mattathias and sit down with Simon. And say, Simon, yeah, you got killed, destroyed, he raped your women, but I accepted Christ.
Nah, no.
I accepted Christ. And now, I am a spiritual Israelite. Sound crazy, huh? Imagine if it was a... Y'all ever see? I used to watch. I grew up on TBN. Sad to say, my grandmothers, my great grandmothers, and my aunts used to turn that on and make us watch. It was a show where it was like this magical house, and they would go in the house, and then the house would take them back in time to Bible stories. Right? I forgot what that show was called. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, it's like a house. They used to go, and the house would take them back in time to a Bible story.
Was it a cartoon?
It was a cartoon.
Oh, you talking about Greatest Adventures?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Imagine in reality, we was able to take Mattathias in the magic house into the 21st century. He'll be like, what the hell? Yeah, yeah, something like that. Imagine taking Mattathias into the 21st century and a Christian comes up, hey, brother, you know, you're saved through Jesus Christ now. And yeah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's going to be like, what the hell are you talking to me about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? And then they show him a picture of Jesus, and it's a white man that looked like a hippie. Mattathias gonna be like,
probably put him to death there.
Probably slay him right there. Mattathias probably get this homosexual out of my face. Imagine that. This is why it's important to read these stories, because it puts everything in perspective. You know what I mean? Watch this. Read. Oh yeah, somebody said it's called Superbook. Yeah, I forgot what it was called because I was a kid, but the show was crazy too. By the way, everybody was white in there. It was crazy. But let's read. Let's keep reading. Watch this. Read. Start at verse 12.
Verse 12. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
This is why the memorials got to live on, because the Most High ordained these memorials, because he spoke through righteous men, right? So how do these memorials, how do they fit into modernized Christianity today? They don't. Watch this. Read.
To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer?
Read.
Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sore.
So they seen all the evil and they mourned, right? Let's keep reading. They mourned for the evil. Read.
Verse 15. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Slakia, the city Modin, to make them sacrifice.
Read.
And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together.
Now, I love this story. I always tell this story in Memoriall of Simon. So Mattathias is crying and he's heartbroken for the evils and the atrocities that have befallen the nation of Israel. And at the same time, if he's seeing all of this, Antiochus sends one of his officials to go and compel the people to worship idols. Hey, look, y'all don't want to get killed no more, right? All you got to do is bow down and worship the idol. He sends an officer to compel the nation of Israel to forsake the laws of Moses, right? Let's see what happens. Read.
Verse 17. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise.
What did they say?
Thou art a ruler and an honorable.
You a great man. It's like going up to Micaiah. Strong, powerful. That's what the king's officials are saying. Man, look how powerful and strong you are. Look at you. You a noble man. Kala, look at you. Noble man. Read, watch this.
And an honorable and great man in this city.
And you are an honorable man in the city. Read.
And strengthened with sons and brethren.
And you got sons on your side. And you got strong brothers on your side. It ain't nothing more greater than a strong man having strong sons and strong brothers on his side. Everybody in his circle is strong. Ain't nobody wavering. Read.
Now therefore come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment.
I need you to come first and worship the idol. See, brothers, if we live to see tribulation, who you think they're going to come to first? They're going to come to the leaders. They're going to be like, Ratazan, all your videos, I seen all your street teaching, Micaiah, Kalab, Ira, the elder. I seen all your street teaching, your videos. You called Charlie Kirk, Charlie Dirt. We've seen all of that. And we know the people love y'all and you got respect in your community. Hey, listen, I got a bargain for you. I'm supposed to kill you, but I won't kill you as long as you publicize that you denying God and the Most High. Huh? Yeah, eat some bacon. He did that to one of the priests. What was the priest's name that did that with? In the Apocrypha, I forgot his name. Eleazar? Was it Eleazar? They did that with Eleazar. They told in the second Maccabees, I believe, they told Eleazar, they said, hey, Eleazar, you're a great respected man. We need you to eat this swine in front of all your people so they can start eating it. Eleazar said, no, I will not. They said, all right, Eleazar, fine, but we want you to live. Just eat this clean meat and pretend it's swine. He saw a devil, ain't he? He don't never really change. That's why you see these movie Hollywood stars, they selling out. In this movie, we need you to portray a prostitute, but you're not really one. Do you know in a movie when you're a prostitute, the Most High is still looking at you as a prostitute? Esau don't never change his tone. So it's the same thing he did with Mattathias. Let's see what Mattathias said. Read.
Now therefore come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment,
Read.
like as all the heathen have done. Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain in Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thy house be in number of the king's friends.
Don't you want to be the friend of the king? Come you first, and then all of the house of Judah after you. Read.
And thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold.
Because you don't want your kids to die, do you? Be a good parent. You don't want your kids to die. Don't you want them to have riches? I'll give them riches. All you got to do is bow down to this idol. That's what he told Mattathias. Read.
And many rewards.
And I'll give you many rewards. Read.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice.
See, brothers, can I get a con?
Come.
Yeah, he spoke with a loud voice. He didn't say, well, King, can I get 1 second to think about it? It was no Michael Jackson voice. King, that sounds good, but you know, my God, my God, he's gonna be mad at me if I think I should do that. No, he didn't speak like that. He said, to hell with that idol. We will not eat the king's meat. We will not bow down to the idol, and we're gonna stand here and fight for our laws. That's what he did. That's what he told him. He didn't talk it in a low tone. He spoke with a loud voice. He said loudly. What did he say loudly? Read.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the commandment of our fathers.
He said, we will not. We will walk in the commandment of our fathers. Read.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
And I always point this out. Every year, I always point this out. He didn't have one of his sons say, well, now, Dad, hold on, Dad. Wait, Dad. Pop, hold on, Pop. You gotta think about it. Let's take a vote. One of the king's friends. Hold on now. You gotta be wise. You gotta use wisdom. I don't think Mattathias should be in charge. He's not moving with wisdom. Because what we could do is we can bow down, but really not bow down. We can bow down and then seem like we bow down and then make our escape. And then see, you're not using wisdom. We got to make a vote on this. Mattathias spoke for everybody. And his sons all stood there by his side, and all of his homies did. And they didn't waver. And he spoke for all of them. But this is the crazy part about this story. Y'all that know this story know. For those that don't know this story, watch what happens. Read.
Verse 23. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin.
And then once he's speaking these words, here come one of them Christian coons. Remember when I told y'all ain't nothing worse than a black Christian? When it comes to coon, boot licking, booty scratching, tap dancing. You know, how's it going, boss? You know that? He said, to hell with what Mattathias is talking about. I'ma go do it. And I love this part because it just is a testament to the strength of Israel, because it's okay, Israel, to love your people. And I tell my brothers this all the time, but now I'm gonna say this publicly. It's okay to love Israel, but y'all love Israel too much. Y'all be letting Israel get away with murder. Israel do wrong, but we gotta forgive him. That's my brother. Yeah, but you gotta understand, our brother do the most atrocious thing. Brothers be trying to save him. That's what some of y'all would have been telling Mattathias. You ain't gotta kill him, no. Let the Lord have him. Let the Lord have Mattathias. That's why I love, you gotta read the memorials, man. Am I saying we gotta kill our brothers today? No, it's the mindset, though. It's the mindset. When somebody goes off against the commandments of God and it's atrociousness, like this brother is about to do right here, it is none of that. It's a mindset. Brothers be having weak mindsets. Brothers gotta change their mind. Brothers gotta read about how your brothers were. Your brothers, they weren't no punks, no pushovers. When somebody got out of line, it was dealt with quick. Y'all got to understand that. Look at what he did to this man. Watch this, read.
Verse 24. Which thing when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
Read.
And his reins trembled.
Read.
Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment.
Read.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon
Killed
the altar.
that man. Now imagine this. Mattathias slew an Israelite, right? Killed him right there on the altar. What you think his brothers and his sons was doing? Now Mattathias, now you didn't have to do that, huh? That wasn't right. we got to sit and talk about this because you killed an Israelite. Nah, Israelites got to die first, respectfully, but truthfully. Yeah. The sinners of our people going to do what? Die first. Huh? Starting at the house of Israel first. The house of God is judgment going to start here first. The mindset of Mattathias. See, this is what I be saying when I be reading stories. Hey, somebody said I could be a comedian. I be telling my wife I probably could be a comedian. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I could. I ain't gonna lie. But I'll get canceled. Canceled though. I ain't gonna hold you. But on some real stuff though, just imagine though, like the mindset of our brothers, the mind of our people. No weakness, strength. We got to. That little weakness y'all have, brothers, and y'all, everybody in here, you know that little weakness you have. Everybody in here, you know that little weakness you have. Destroy it. Kill it. Be a man. Like, and when I say be a man, it's not about your stature. It's not about your physicality. It's about your mindset. Be a man. Brothers got to be men. That's why one thing about us as Israelites, we're not this is not the Christian church. You know how the Christian church, the black man is quiet? Black man is quiet. You know, in the church, his women do all the work. Y'all ever been in the black church? Black men don't say nothing. Sitting there right in the pews. The black woman be the loudest one. She gonna pluck your ear, tell you to get up. She gonna walk down the aisles. She gonna shush you if you too loud. Black man don't do nothing in church. Black man don't even be wanting to go to church, but he go because it's woman. And you know, I'm gonna be honest. Now the black church, they trying to get a little toughness because the Israelites. Y'all notice that? Y'all notice that? Now they trying to get a little toughness. Now, again, it's not about cussing people out on the street. That doesn't make you a man, a strong man. It's about your demeanor, that's why in our school, the leaders of the church are the men. Brothers got to be strong, got to be valiant. I hope I'm saying that right. Valiant. Brothers got to be strong, courageous, have courage. Brothers, that little weakness you got, whatever it is, that kill it. Whatever weakness it is, whether it's weakness for women, whether it's a weakness for alcohol, whether it's a weakness for whatever it is, I'm speaking to myself too. We gotta kill that weakness, that weakness. You know what it is, you gotta kill it. Every man knows his battle that he gotta kill. That's why brothers in soldiers class, y'all gotta be ready because we tightening up. Telling you, we tightening up. We can't have no more weakness. Brothers gotta be strong, man. Mattathias was a strong man. He slew that man, and after he slew that man, he went on a rampage, pulled down all the altars in that region, and then they got out of there. That's the type of man that Simon comes from. Elder, is it Simon or Simeon? I want to say it correctly. How do y'all pronounce it? Simon? All right. Some people be like Simeon, some people say Simon. Tomato, I understand, but I want to respect it. So you got to understand what type of man he comes from. He comes from a type of a strong man. So now let's get to Simon now. So now let's go from there. Let's go to 1 Maccabees 5:21. On your own time, when Mattathias died, before Mattathias died, you know what his last word was? He told his sons, avenge your people. Avenge your people. That's what his last words to his sons were. Avenge your people. It was his last words. Y'all understand? Avenge your people. And that's what they did. They did that. For sure. They avenged their people. And you know, also too, you got to understand that this puts in perspective the history of the Hellenization of the Jews that went off, and why later down the line, the Jews had such a resentment towards the Israelites that went off. It puts in proper perspective. You got to think about it. Like the Jews that grew up in Jewry around the time of Christ, they was looking at this history and like, man, forget them, man. They left our father, even the Jews, because a lot of people, we talk about the Northern Kingdom, right? Like the Northern Kingdom were the first ones to go off, right? But the Jews went off too. There was a lot of Jews that got lost too and assimilated into, why do you think they had the scriptures translated in Greek? Because a lot of the Jews got misplaced too. So anybody that didn't grow up in Jewry during the time of Christ, the reason why they didn't want to deal with them so toughly was because they knew this history. They were like, man, y'all backstabbed y'all people. Y'all went away. They was talking about those that went and made a covenant with the heathen and built them gymnasiums. They was talking about brothers like who Mattathias slew. It was a lot of Israelites and Jews that converted and really went and really joined the other nations and rejected who they were. And this is why you see the conflict in the New Testament and why the Jews was like, man, we ain't, but the Most High like, nah, I still got to go get them. You know, that's a lesson for another time, but we're going to have to go deep into that history so I can show you guys that. But let's read this real quick. First Maccabees 5:21.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 5, verse 21.
Read.
Then went Simon into Galilee,
Read.
where he fought many battles.
So Simon, he did exactly what his dad told him to do. He fought many battles. He was on that front line. He was fighting. He wasn't scared. He had courage. He did exactly what his father wanted him to do. All of his sons, all of Mattathias' sons did exactly what their father told them to do. They stood up for the Most High and they fought and they gave their lives. Read.
With the heathen, so that the heathen were discomfited by him. And he pursued them unto the gate of Ptolemy.
And Simon was a ruthless killer. See, y'all know about Judas Maccabeus, right? Simon was ruthless too. They all was ruthless, but he was ruthless. You know you're ruthless when your enemy, when you destroy your enemy and they start running, and then you be like, yeah, get up out of here. Y'all ever had a fight and the dude start running from you? You like, yeah. And you stop fighting him and you like, yeah. You let him go? Nah, Simon wasn't like that. He was chasing him. He getting him. He like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. You ever seen a brother do that? Like fighting and the brother start running and then he start chasing him like, we want that brother. That's how it was with Simon. Simon was like, I'm chasing y'all out of here. It's not enough that y'all running. I got to kill you. I got to get you. That's a scary opponent. You don't want to fight a man like that, right? Let's read. Watch this. Is that, what verse was that?
That was verse 21.
Okay, keep reading.
Verse 22. And he pursued them unto the gate of Ptolemy, and there was slain of the heathen about 3,000 men, whose spoils he took.
Imagine killing 3,000 people. Can y'all imagine that? Imagine you and your men killed 3,000 people. You know how much bodies that is on the street? Dead bodies, dead carcasses. Killed 3,000 men. Watch this, read.
And those, verse 23, and those that were in Galilee and in Arbatis with their wives and their children, all that they had, took he away with him and brought them into Judea with great joy.
All right, and he took spoils of them, took their wives and their kids, and said, your wives and your kids gonna be servants to us now. Took great spoil, right? So this was the type of man that Simon was. Now, the story kind of is the tragic one. Let's go to chapter 13. The story is a tragic one, man. Let's read verse 1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon...
Now Tryphon was, he had took control. There's many different Antiochus. There's Epiphanes, and then you got Antiochus. I believe the fifth, correct me if I'm wrong, elders, if you guys remember, Antiochus, the fifth is the one that killed Tryphon, right? It's the fourth or the fifth. I think it's the fifth. It's the fourth? Yeah, so Antiochus, yeah, because I'm not good at Roman numerals, but the V is 5, right? Yeah, so the I and the V is 4. Yes, so Antiochus the fourth. Thanks, Matt. It's a history buff right there, huh? Antiochus the fourth is the one that killed Tryphon later down the line, but Tryphon actually took over, right? So he took over for a minute. So Tryphon, he was going to war. So Simon was like, okay, we got to go to war. So let's see what Tryphon did. Read.
Verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it.
So Tryphon, he want to destroy Judea now. Read.
And saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together.
Now, let me give y'all context, because we skipped a lot of chapters, so let me give y'all context. I believe, yes, Judas Maccabeus had died. He got killed. Judas Maccabeus was like he was like one of the toughest brothers, right? They gave him the name, they surnamed him Maccabeus, which means hammer. So Judas was like putting it down. Judas, he dies. All right. Or was it Judas or was it Jonathan? Judas. Was it Judas or was it
Jonathan dies later.
Jonathan, yes. Okay. Thank you for the story. Thank you. So I know the two brothers. I think Jonathan got captured. Yes. So I'm filling in the blank so we don't have to read all those chapters. So we can know, you guys can know and understand why in 1 Maccabees chapter 13, verse 1, why Jerusalem was now afraid. They were afraid because Judas just died, or Judeus just died, and Jonathan got captured. Okay, so now the nation of Israel is like, what are we to do now? What are we to do? Our leaders are now captured. So they're afraid, right? So now Simon is left alone to take the charge now. His brothers is dead or captured. So now Simon, he's like, I'm in charge now. Tryphon is like, this is the time to strike. Now it's the time to destroy Jerusalem and really just kill them. Right? And just kill them off. Right? So let's keep reading. Watch this. Read.
Verse 2, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear.
Read.
He went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together and gave them exhortation,
Read.
saying, ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary.
Now Simon, his brothers has died. One of his brothers died. Another one of his brothers is captured. What did he do? Oh my gosh, my brothers are captured. Oh no. What am I going to do? Lord, we've been fighting. We never disrespected your commandments. Why did you let my brothers get captured? Did he do that? A lot of Israelite men to do that today. I don't know if God is with us. You know, because the reality of it is, family, even if you do everything right, that doesn't mean that you won't die. See, the problem is Israel has this mindset that they're supposed to get rewarded for doing good. You're supposed to just do good. And if the Most High have mercy on you, he has mercy on you. That was the mindset of Simon. Simon didn't cry because his brothers were captured or his brothers were killed. He said, hey, look, you know me and my brothers, we won many strongholds for y'all. We don't stop now, do we? No, we don't stop now. We gotta fight. Simon, this is how you have to raise your children. You gotta raise your kids to be like that. Look, I'll cry later. Don't listen to Esau, brothers. Every man needs to be in touch with his feminine side. No! No! No feminine side. Not right now. It's war. Ain't no every man has to be in touch with his feminine side. No, every man has to be a man. That feminine side, that's the biggest lie in the book. Now, can a man be compassionate? Yes. Compassion is not feminine. No, I'm not saying a man can't have compassion. But when you say be in your feminine side, what? No, my body is full of testosterone. I am a man. I am strong. Compassion is a part of my character, yes. Femininity is not. We don't teach our boys it's okay to cry. What we teach our sons is, if you're sad, you get up and you move anyway. Don't let them lie to you and tell you you're wrong from teaching your sons how to be strong. You tell him, stand up, put your chin up, and it's okay. You might shed a tear. I'm not saying Simon didn't shed a tear. I'm not saying he didn't do that. I'm not saying he didn't mourn his brothers. But when it was time for battle, listen, brothers, man, y'all gotta get out of that, brothers. Men are weak. Y'all heard about the men that killed his 8 kids and his wife? Weak. Because you lost your job? So what? Get another one. You got people depending on you. Lost my job. I just don't know what to do. Perhaps I need to talk. I don't got time. The advice I give you is man up. Go get it. I don't know what to do. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to jump. The brother, I'm going to jump. Anybody looking? Who's going to stop me? Because you're really not going to jump. You just want that sympathy. You got to man up. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't shed a tear. I'm sure Simon was shedding tears when he was talking about his brothers. But guess what he did? He said, we still got a war to fight. We got to move. Brothers got to stop being soft. Somebody cold. Somebody said the soft guy era. That's crazy. You know the soft girl era? The soft guy era. It's crazy. That's why, and I'm going to tell you, brothers, man, we got to teach our boys to be strong. Men can't even take rejection. Y'all seen the young teenager that slammed the girl on her head because she didn't want to give him the number? That's weak. You can't take rejection? That's weak. You wonder why these boys, do you know most, if not all, of school shooters are men, are boys? Did y'all know that? Why? Because you're teaching them to be weak. When I was getting picked on at school, I had to man up. You better go shoot the dozens back. Now these boys is weak. They shooting up the school because they can't take jokes. They can't take getting bullied. They can't take, our men are weak. This is a weak epidemic of men. When you read about the memorials teach you how to man up. Teach your kids how to man up. Teach your boys how to man up. And even teach your girls how to be strong too. They're gonna have to be strong because they gotta raise the boys. I mean, I can just imagine how Mattathias' wife was and how Simon's mom was. Can you imagine? She probably Simon's mom probably put us to shame today.
Probably like the sister with the 7 sons you see in Mattathias.
Yeah.
Probably would like that.
She probably, yeah, for sure. We gotta be strong, brothers. This is why we gotta keep these memorials, because, brothers, when you feeling weak, this is what you gotta read. You gotta say, you know what? Hey man, I don't know how it's gonna work, but it's gonna work. It's gonna have to. It's just like you ain't got no choice. You got 2 choices, brothers. You either die be homeless, and then die eventually, or you figure it out. Y'all got to get that mentality. You got to figure it out. You can't be, figure it out, man. There's no excuse. You ever met that one brother that just got every excuse in the book? It's like, bro, how many excuses you got? Well, why you get fired? Well, they didn't like me. Okay, well, go get another job. Well, every time I go to a job interview, I was late because I had stubbed my toe the last night, and then when I stubbed my toe, I couldn't put my shoe on, and then since I couldn't put my shoe on, I just didn't go. Weak. Brothers is weak, man. Y'all gotta get that every bit of weakness that Esau wants in your mind. Now, it's one thing, and we're gonna get back to the story, but I gotta say this. Andrew Tate, he a weirdo. But it's one thing I do like that he say. What was it that he said? It was a quote that he said, and I don't even think he made the quote. Strong men create good times, and good times create weak men. Something like that.
And weak men create hard times.
Yeah. Because it took a strong man to make you relax and comfortable and happy, and now you're weak. That's why every man, and I'll preach this to the day that I die, every man needs some controversy. You cannot say that you're a man unless you overcome controversy. If you haven't got any that's why do you think like all these rich, like Magic Johnson and all these rich athletes and superstars, all their kids is trash. All their kids is trash. Weak. Because they was given everything. They didn't have to hustle for nothing. They didn't have to grow up in the hard times. Every child, every man for sure needs some type of controversy. Every man should know how it feels to get punched in the face and taste that blood in the lip. Every man should know how that feels. That's why, I protect my children. I'm not putting them in public schools, but guess what I will do? I'm gonna put them in boxing so they can learn how to get hit. Learn how to take a punch. Learn how to, everybody should know how, every man should know how to do that. You should know how to be strong, courageous. You should have what they call heart. Y'all should have that. And if you don't have that, you need to go watch read the stories of the Maccabees and go watch some videos of stoicism or something. Get it in you. Start overcoming some controversy. This is what Simon had to do, right? So his brothers has died. One of his brothers has died, Judas, and Jonathan is captured. But he's saying we still got to fight. Watch this. Read.
And gave them extortion, saying, or it's like an exhortation, saying, ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary.
Read.
The battles also and troubles which we have seen.
Read.
By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake.
He said, all my brothers, every single one of his brothers were dead. Can you imagine that? All his brothers, he did not one time curse God. He did not one time curse God. He did not one time blame God. He did not one time lose hope in the Most High. He said, look, all of my brothers are dead. We are dead. Oh, every single one of my brothers is dead. He still kept fighting. Watch what happened. Read.
And I am left alone. Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of trouble.
That, when I read stuff like that, I'll be like, man, what kind of... He like, all my brothers is dead. Should I spare my own? That means he like ready to die. He like, all my brothers is dead. I'm not sparing my life. So I got to spare my own. Nah. Low-key get you emotional in the sense of the heart that he had. You start tearing up for your forefathers. Like, the strength that they endured. You know what I mean? And the strongholds that they had to overcome. And then you start looking at your life and you start feeling like, I can't even stay focused on one task for 1 hour, and they fight wars. Because of these right here. You start feeling like a punk, kind of like, dang, I'm supposed to be reading the scriptures. 5 minutes into me reading, I'm like this. I can't even read a book for an hour straight. That's the thing, man. I had to low-key, got mad at myself. You know, I'm back at work now and all praises, and I went to work and I was tired. And you know, you read stories like this and you feel like, what did you do with your day? I did go to work, whatever, got home, took a long nap, like a whole long nap, woke up at 9 o'clock. And I felt bad for it because I'm like, dang, from all that time, from 3 o'clock to 9, I slept to 9 o'clock. I could have been doing something productive. I could have been doing something. I could have, but I took a long nap. And I'm not saying brothers can't take a nap, but the point is, for the Most High put it on my spirit for whatever reason to feel like I could have did something more with my time instead of going to sleep. And the crazy thing about it is, a voice in my head was like, oh nah. And I even said it to my wife, but then in my heart, I didn't tell her. I rebuked myself, like, nah, well, you didn't. It's not that you wasted your time. You went to work today. And then I think back of like my grandfather, man. He 11 years old, driving tractor trailers, building houses with his hands. 80 years old, still driving to almost 90 years old, still driving to LA and fixing leaks in the apartments and all that. And I'm tired. And I didn't even do no strenuous work. I went home and did paperwork. I mean, went to work and did paperwork. Ain't like I was hanging iron. Like, then you start convicting yourself. I'm just letting y'all know, brothers, I do the same thing to myself. You start convicting yourself like, I didn't even do nothing. Man, I wasted all that time because now it's 9 o'clock and I got to go back to sleep at 11. I wasted all that time. Oh, you ever like, you ever went home and then you got on the game? You played a game all day, play the game to 3 o'clock, and you like, dang, I didn't even read today. I didn't even read. I played the game all day. I've done that before. You just feel sick. Like, just feel sick. Like, dang, there's no reason for me to be playing Dragon Ball Z all day like that. No reason. Customizing characters, and it's another thing. like for real, like your character in the game better than your character in real life. You know what I mean? Like in the game, you got 2 cars, you got a whip. Like, got millions of dollars. Then you turn off the game and you live with your mama. How you do all that? You build up the imaginary character, and then in your real life, you're terrible. That just comes to show you that it's where you put your mind. Like if you could, your creative player, you made him the stuff. Then your regular life, you trash. So when you read these stories about Simon, I'm not saying you go out there and slay nobody right now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take his tenacity and try to input that into you. That's what you do. You read these stories and you take that tenacity and you put it into you. Your mind is going to be where your heart is. I'm telling you. The mind is going to be where your heart is. If your heart is on the Most High, that's where your heart is going to be. You're going to be here. You're not missing. You're going to be on time. You're going to show up for the Lord. You're going to do that. I'm telling you. Brothers don't take off work. We take off for the Most High, though. It's terrible, man. That's a terrible mindset. We take off for the Most High, but we don't take off work. Brothers will go to work with one leg if they had to. Brothers will go to work. Brothers will go to work sick. Throat hurt. Eyes watering. Coughing. Nah, I gotta go to work. COVID, going to work. I'm gonna be real when I say this, respectfully. Sorry to my older viewers. They had to make a law for niggas. You niggas stay home. For real. You don't think they made that law for no reason? Because people was going to work still. The government had to say, y'all stay home. Stop coming to work when you got COVID. They had to make tests for you. You heard a brother in the back? Hey, man, hey. Hey, nah, you need to go get the COVID test. Brothers was going to work. For the Most High, though, man, we got every excuse in the book. Sad, man. Sad. And then we read stories like Simon that died for the Most High. We can't even take off work for the Sabbath. We gotta make law. We gotta make doctrine around. Well, we in captivity, Our brothers make doctrine to give it to make it be okay to break the Sabbath. It's crazy out here, man. And then you read in stories like this, and you read in stories like in Maccabees where the nation of Israel, just to not break the Sabbath, they stood there and didn't draw a sword and let their enemies kill them because they didn't want to forsake this. It was like, man, it's the Sabbath. We can't fight. They sat there and let them people kill them, and you can't take off work. I'm just not going. Before we get back to the story, because we almost done, and I know it's almost 9:30. Y'all want to know the secret to overcome fear? Just say it anyway. Even if you're scared, even if you feel scared to talk to your employer, just do it. All right, I'm scared, but I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just do it. I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm gonna just do it. Hey, I can't come to work. Well, we're gonna need you to come in to work because I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Do you guys know this true story? And we're going to get back to Simon because we almost wrapping it up. Do you guys know that I lost, because, a lot of people be talking, but they don't, I know I always give personal testimonies, but because I want you guys to understand that I don't tell y'all to do something and then don't do it. Like, I'm serious. I'm still drinking water, right? By the way, who's still drinking water? Hey, in the chat, remember we said we was drinking water to Pentecost? Who's sticking to it? I wanna see, because I remember some people said they was gonna do it. But anyway, lost the job, whatever. I could have been back at work. The only thing was that the only job that was available was a job me working Friday evenings, getting off at like 9-10 o'clock. So working into the Sabbath. I couldn't take that job. Couldn't take it. Sorry. Couldn't take it. Okay. But the only thing, look, we got work. The only work we got right now is we got the swing shift. I can't work the swing shift because that requires me to work on my Fridays. I can't do it. Can't do it. It is what it is. Most people will look at me and say I was stupid for that. But you know what? It is what it is. I'll be crazy for the gospel. It is what it is. We're not breaking the Sabbath. When you had brothers that was literally dying. Can you imagine somebody killing you with a sword and you got a sword and a shield right there and you a better fighter than them? You know you can kill him, but you like, it's the Sabbath, so I gotta let him kill me. And you let him thrust you through. That's That's a different type of level. That's the level that y'all got to get back to. That's the level that we got to get back to. Man, women, and children alike. Let's finish reading this because I want to get to something important before this class is over. Let's keep reading. Watch this. Read.
Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of trouble.
You're like, man, be it far from me that I would spare my own life in time of trouble. Meaning that thought can't even come in my mind. Read.
For I am no better than my brethren. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, and all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice. Now as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived, and they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan thy brother. Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commandest us, that will we do.
Now watch what happened, man. This is so cold. Read verse 10.
So then he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem, and he fortified it round about.
I got work to do. We got work to do. One of my brothers is dead. One of my brothers is captured. We got work to do. Watch this. Read.
Also, he sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, with him a great power to Joppe, who casting out them that were therein remained there in it.
Read.
So Tryphon removed from Ptolemais with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him inward.
So imagine your enemy got your brother. Now you can imagine what they're doing to his brother. You think they just got him nice pillows and comfortable bed? No, he in dungeons. They got him captured. They probably beat on him and did all type of manner of torture to him. Y'all ever seen one of the movies where they captured one of the men and then they got him chained and he beat up and bruised up and bloodied up and shirt off and clothes off and he's sitting there? They got his brother. They got his brother captive. Watch what happened. Read.
Verse 13. But Simon pitched his tents in Adida over against the plain.
Read.
Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan and meant to join battle with him,
Read.
He sent messengers unto him, saying, Whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure.
Read.
Concerning the business that was committed unto him.
Read.
Wherefore now send in 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty, he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go.
So look at this devil. He said, look, we'll let your brother go. We'll let your brother go, but you got to send us the money that your brother owe in tribute, and you got to send your two of your sons as hostages so that we can do a fair exchange and make sure that your brother doesn't rebel against us as an incentive. Now, do you think he telling the truth? Simon know he not telling the truth, but Simon only had one choice because at that time the people are Israel. Now, okay, that's a deal. Do it. Simon was forced to give his 2 sons and to give tribute money, even though he knew Tryphon was not telling the truth. Because it was a strategic, because Tryphon knew that if he could get the people to turn against Simon, then Simon would be overthrown. Because the people loved Jonathan. So the people was like, yeah, that's a good deal. He's gonna let go of Jonathan, and your 2 sons is just not casualty, but they're an incentive. So then when we get Jonathan, we'll get your 2 sons. They actually, the people, Israel actually believed that Tryphon was going to let go of Jonathan. Look what happened. Read.
Verse 17. Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children,
Read.
lest peradventure he should procure himself great hatred of the people.
See, that's the crazy part. He knew that Israel would hate him if he didn't do it. He knew that, and he knew that if Israel hated him, they would have turned against him and went to Tryphon. And Tryphon knew that. That was actually Tryphon's plan. you know what? If we make this deal, I'm speaking deceitfully. I'm going to still kill Jonathan and his sons. Because guess what? He never got his sons back. The scriptures never say anything about him getting his sons back. So what do y'all think happened to his sons? So now Simon just lost 2 of his sons and his brother. But he had to do it because it's strategic, it's strategies in war. He knew that if I don't do this, the greater I'm gonna lose the war trying to win this battle. Because Israel's going to turn against me. Because Israel's like sheep to the slaughter. They don't have heart like that. So he knew that Israel believes Tryphon. Yeah, all of Israel. He knew, like, I have to sacrifice this in order to regain control over the people so that I can still put belt to ASS. Watch what happened. Read.
Verse 18, who might have said, because I sent him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead. So he sent them the children and the 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon dissembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
And he still didn't let Jonathan go. So now, your 2 sons is gone. Forget the money. We know he lost the money. But what's greater than money is 2 of your sons. 2 of your sons are gone. All of your brothers are dead. And now Jonathan about to die and your 2 sons. What kind of mindset you think he was in as a man? Watch what happened. Read. We got to finish this. Read.
And after this, Tryphon came to Salakia. And after this came Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it, going round about by the way.
Because Tryphon thought in his heart, they're doomed either way. If he doesn't give up his sons and his money, then the people turn against him, I win. If he does give them up, I'm still going to kill Jonathan and his sons and keep the money. And now their heart is going to be completely crushed. And then I'm going to kill them. That's what Tryphon thought. But he didn't break Simon's spirit. He thought that he was going to break Simon's spirit. But he couldn't break Simon's spirit. Because look what happened. Read.
Going round about by the way that leadeth unto a door. But Simon and his host marched against him in every place, wheresoever he went. Now they that were in the tower sent messengers unto Tryphon, to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them.
Read.
By the wilderness,
Read.
and send them victuals.
Read.
Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night. But there fell a very great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed and came into the country of Galaad. And when he came near to Bascama, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there. Afterward, Tryphon returned and went into his own land.
Look at that. Killed Jonathan. And look at read verse 25.
Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried them in Modin, the city of his fathers. And all Israel made great lamentation for him and bewailed him many days.
Read.
Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren.
And guess what? Simon didn't be like, you stupid Israelites, and I lost my 2 sons. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. Because he knew the game already. You know, sometimes y'all got to know your enemy. Sometimes you got to already expect it and don't take it personal in the sense of it's business. Still got to love your people. Even when your people don't love you back. Simon could have been like, man, what y'all crying for? I just lost my brother and my sons. To hell with y'all. I ain't fighting with y'all no more. Y'all on y'all own. I told y'all. Stupid. He didn't do that. He still served the people. Israel sitting there crying. Simon just lost everybody. But guess what he did? Read, watch this.
Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site, with hewn stone behind and before. Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another.
There you go. If y'all need a scripture or to show that Israel knew how to build pyramids, there you go. He built 7 pyramids. Read.
For his father and his mother and his 4 brethren. And in these he made cunning devices, about the which he set great pillars, and upon the pillars he made all their armor for a perpetual memory. And by the armor ships carved and by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea.
Now, he made a big monument for his brothers. But I'm going to tell y'all something. For the sake of time, we're going to skip. I want y'all to read the rest of 13 on your own. He was putting belt to bottom. After he did that, he buried him. He did his crime. Got all that out the way. He was putting belt to bottom. He was killing them with a vengeance. Read this on your own. It was so bad. He was killing the heathen so bad. He literally killed all the heathen that was round about, got them all out of the land, killed them all. He was putting belt to bottom. And this is where we get today. Let's go to verse 49.
Verse 49. They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could.
Read verse 48.
Verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanliness out of it.
No, you know what? Let's read 46 because I want to at least get what the heathen started saying to Simon. Read.
Verse 46. And they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
He had the heathen begging him, please, 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 Simon, please, don't kill us no more. Don't deal with us on our wickedness. He had the heathen nation begging him for forgiveness. Read.
So Simon was appeased towards them and fought no more against them,
Read.
but put them out of the city and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were.
Read.
And so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving.
We need a song, Mac. We need a song dedicated to Simon, bro. Got to put a song together for Maccabees. That'll be a cold piece of work. Gotta write a song. Matt, you one of the best writers in Israel, in my opinion. You gotta put a song together for the Maccabees, bro. We gotta start singing songs again to the people, man. That's why we trying to, get that department up, because that's one thing that we gotta start getting up. We gotta start singing again and rapping again and music, because that's a part of this. We gotta do that, man. They started to praise because the heathen was no more at that time. Right, read.
Verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it.
Got rid of all the uncleanness out the land. Read.
And placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before.
Read.
And built therein a dwelling place for himself.
Read.
They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight,
Read.
that they could neither come forth nor go into the country, nor buy nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for want of victuals, and a great number of them perished through famine.
Read.
Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them.
See, the other heathen nations, they couldn't do nothing. They started crying, please, Simon, we're sorry. Read.
Which thing he granted them. And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollution.
Read.
And entered into it the 23rd day of the second month.
This is why we are here tonight. We are here tonight because of the strength and courage of the Maccabees and Simon. This is what he did. He got revenge for his brothers, for his sons, for his father. He got revenge on this day tonight. And he set this up to be a memorial ordained. You think I'm not going to listen to Simon? Even though he's dead, his spirit still speaks through these words. So if he tells me to memorialize this, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to memorialize it. And you should too, Israel. You shouldn't just, oh, that's Simon. Yeah, we don't really got to do that. Yeah, that's not the Torah. What are you talking about? You don't think men like Moses, if Moses came after Simon, he wouldn't still memorialize this? You're right. Some people think we don't got to keep dedication because it ain't a Sabbath. But did Christ keep it? Some people say dedication a memorial. You ain't got to keep that as a Sabbath. That's dedication. But then we see Christ still kept it. He still went to Jerusalem on dedication. He still observed it. So you don't think Christ was observing the other days too? You don't think the Jews was observing Simon during the time of Rome? You absolutely right they was. Because what y'all fail to realize is from Simon comes a key player in history. Y'all know who his son was? John Hyrcanus. See, y'all don't know. Y'all got to do y'all history. You've been reading, huh? Y'all know who John Hyrcanus? John Hyrcanus was a bad man. He was that guy. That's where you get the Herodian dynasty from. Because he beat them Edomite. But he shouldn't have did that, though. He should have just killed all of them.
It's like, I think it's Hasmonean dynasty.
The Hasmonean, I'm sorry. After, but the Edomites, though, under Herod, they got converted. Right? The Hasmonean dynasty was John Hyrcanus, but the Edomites that they converted, similar like Purim, the Edomites that they converted end up coming up into power, and that's where you get the Herodian dynasty. But John Hyrcanus was that guy. Now, think about it. From Simon, this is important history, from Simon to John, remember, they were all Levites. They were all Levites. So you don't think that the Levites during Christ's time was honoring Simon and John Hyrcanus? Yes, they were. So you gotta think, like, these men were powerful men, and this is kind of where you get the shaping of the New Testament and how the Pharisees were. But of course, they begin to let power and fame get to their head and corrupt them because of their line. All right, watch this. Read.
And entered into it the 23rd day of the second month in the 171st year.
Read.
With thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
Read.
He ordained also that day should be kept every year with gladness.
And the Most High preserved these words. It's a lot of documents that we don't have. But the Most High chose to preserve these words. So guess what? I'm going to keep it every year. You should too, Israel. And you shouldn't just keep it at, oh, it's just Simon. You should really go up. Now, tonight is our 7-day Sabbath. So, of course, we couldn't get hot food and warm food and stuff like that. But for you brothers that's y'all sipping, y'all should take a shot to Simon. Y'all should take a shot to Simon. And y'all should enjoy yourself tonight and celebrate what the Most High did to Simon. And ask the Lord to give you the spirit of Simon in your personal life. And not to kill anybody, but to kill the weakness within yourself. That's what you kill. You brothers, y'all kill that weak man. Kill that man. Make him not live no more. Treat him like Tryphon. Stump him out. Eradicate him from the face of the planet. He is no more. Any type of weakness that you got in you, whatever it is, get rid of him. You out of shape, get in shape. You don't got a job, get a job. You don't got a car, get a car. You live with your mama, move out. Get your own. Be a man. Kill any weakness. That's what we dedicate Simon for today. We're not going, of course, we're going to wait for Christ at this time, but we're going to kill that weakness inside of us. Whatever that is, you brothers know whatever it is you got online and in here. Y'all know what it is y'all got. Kill that weak man. I know what it is I got to kill. That's making me a weak man. Kill that. Destroy it. Try to get better every day. Try to be like Simon every day. And watch what he said do. Read.
He ordained also that day should be kept every year with gladness.
Read.
Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower, he made stronger than it was.
Read.
And there he dwelt himself with his company. And when Simon saw that John, his son, was a valiant
Who is that John right there?
John Hyrcanus.
That's John Hyrcanus right there. Read.
He made him captain of all the hosts, and he dwelt in Gazara.
Yep. Before we leave, I gotta read, because this made me kind of sad, not gonna lie. Let's go to I think 16. Let me see. First Maccabees 16. Let me see. Where's that at? I think it's 16 and oh yeah, 16 and let's read verse. Read verse 14.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 16, verse 14.
Read.
Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country and taking care for the good ordering of them.
Read.
At which time he came down himself to Jericho with his sons, Mattathias and Judas.
You know the sad thing about the story of Simon is, after all the things he did for Israel, guess who it was that killed him?
Israel.
After all of that, look at what happened. Read.
In the 117th year, in the 11th month called Sabbath, where the son of Abibus, receiving them deceitfully into a little hole called Antiochus, which he had built, made them a great banquet. Howbeit he had hid men there. So when Simon and his sons...
So now, Elder, I want to ask you a question real quick. This in chapter 16, it says that was his son-in-law, correct? IQ? I think let me see, that was verse, I want to get this straight before we finish. Yeah, well, read verse 12. Who was this right here, Elder?
Verse 12, for he was the high priest.
Read verse 11. Read verse 11.
Verse 11, moreover, in the plain of Jericho was Ptolemaeus, the son of Abubis, made captain, and he had abundance of silver and gold, for he was the high priest's son-in-law.
Who was the high priest that he was son-in-law to? Because he was the one that conspired against Simon. Does your mind recollect? Okay, yeah. We probably got to go back to 15. I was assuming that he was a son-in-law of a Levite. That's what I was assuming. And I was assuming that it was Simon's nephew, but I could be wrong. But I can fact check it. We can fact check it. But nonetheless, if we can fact check it, let me see. I want to see if he was let's read up a little bit. Let's go to let me see. Read verse 1.
Book of First Maccabees, chapter 16, verse 1. Then came up John from Gazara and told Simon his father what Sendibius had done. Wherefore Simon called his two eldest sons, Judas and John, and said unto them, I and my brethren and my father's house have ever from our youth unto this day fought against the enemies of Israel, and things have prospered so well in our hands.
Okay, so go from there. We probably got to read 15. Let's just go read from verse 11. Just read from verse 11 again.
Verse 11, moreover, in the plain of Jericho was Ptolemaeus, the son of Abubis, made captain, and he had abundance of silver and gold, for he was the high priest's son-in-law.
Read.
For wherefore his heart being lifted up, he thought to get the country to himself,
Read.
and thereupon consulted deceitfully against Simon and his sons to destroy them. Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country, and taking care for the good ordering of them.
See, so this is Israel, right? So I know for sure that he has to be a Israelite, right? So Simon is in. So this is a comrade of some sorts. So let's see what he did, right? Because he wanted to conspire to take over the country for himself, right? Read.
At which time he came down himself to Jericho with his sons, Mattathias and Judas, in the 117th year,
Read.
in the 11th month called Sabbath.
Read.
Where the son of Abibus, receiving them deceitfully into a little hole called Antiochus, which he had built,
Read.
made them a great banquet.
He disguised it. Now, yeah, this couldn't have been no heathen, right? Because at that time, Simon wasn't. They destroyed and eradicated the heathen. So I know this is an Israelite, right? So he received them, but he received them deceitfully, and made a banquet for them. He said, we're going to make a great banquet for Simon and his sons. Make a great banquet. Read.
Howbeit he had hid men there. So when Simon and his sons had drunk largely, Ptolemy and his men
So they
rose
was
up.
drinking. This is a sad way for Simon to go out by one of his own. Said once they was drinking, he made them all comfortable. You know how it is when brothers get to drinking? Brothers get relaxed. Made them relaxed, and what did he do? Read.
Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons and came upon Simon into the banqueting place and slew him and his 2 sons and certain of his servants, in which doing he committed a great treachery and recompensed evil for good.
See that? A great treachery. Kill a strong man like that. But that just show you the hatred of your own. Kill a strong man like that. When I read that, I couldn't believe that's how he went out. I couldn't believe that's how he went out. You know, but that's when John Hyrcanus came. You know, and John actually took over. But is it? Okay, it was Simon. I figured. I just didn't want to speak presumptuously. Okay, so it was Simon's son-in-law. So thank you for that fact check, Elder. So Simon's son-in-law. Simon's son-in-law. Y'all know what that means? That means that this man married his daughter. Simon's son-in-law. It be your own, man. It be your own people. It be your own people, man. His own son-in-law took him out. After all the things that he did for the nation of Israel, his own son-in-law took him out. The ones closest to you would do you dirty. The brothers that you think, it's like, I get this, man. You got to think, especially a man as noble as Simon, he give you his daughter? That means he respected him, like, and you know they did, because that's like, they went to a banquet to go drink. Hey, my son-in-law having a party. And then you kill that man. That's how evil Israel is. You got to be careful with your own. See, the story of Simon teaches you a lot. And one thing it teaches you this, brothers. And now I understand this. Keep your friends close and you keep your enemies closer. You better watch. Watch the people that's around you, because the people that you think that really love you, they be the ones to kill you. Be the ones to take you out, plot, all that. Watch everything. This story right here teaches you how to be a well-balanced man. And it teaches you how to be stoic and tough, brothers. Look, and this truth, I'm telling you, brothers, ain't nobody safe. You better make sure you hold your crown at the end of it. And no matter what happens, close brothers, not close brothers, friends, family, fall off from this truth, you better keep walking. Because I'm telling you, people can get corrupted easy. It wasn't a heathen that killed Simon. It was his own people, man. His own people killed him. After he did all of that for Israel, his own people killed him. That's a cold way to end that for him. You know what I mean? Like when I read that, I was kind of like, dang, that's a cold way to go. Where you're at a place of comfortability and you can't even. That's crazy. Killed that man, literally, and his sons. Not even just, and then tried to kill John Hyrcanus too. That's why the Most High said, judgment got to start at my house. That's why, brothers, in this truth, close people gonna leave. Close people gonna do you bad. Close people gonna talk about you. Close people gonna make up lies against you. Close people, the closest people that you think that got your back. Sisters too. Y'all can't be skittish of that. Guess what? When people betray you like that, you keep moving. We don't stop. We got work to do. Your best friend leave, I gotta keep working. Your friend leave, you gotta keep working. Your husband, your wife, your kids, you gotta keep working. Learn from these stories and implement these stories in your life and build yourself up to be a great man like your forefathers. Happy Simon to everybody, and we're gonna memorialize his death and his life, and we're gonna celebrate for the Maccabees. Come. All right, y'all. I hope y'all was edified with that. We gonna always memorialize Simon. So we hope that you guys enjoy your Sabbath. We hope that you guys enjoy tonight's festivities. Again, we're not cooking tonight. We got all cold food. So just for anybody online, no, we did not cook tonight. We did not break the Sabbath, the Lord's 7-day Sabbath. We got sandwiches and some good food. So just for anybody that thinking, oh, they celebrating tonight, they about to go buy and cook. We ain't doing that, you know. But if Simon would have fell on a Wednesday, we would have turned up with hot food. But tonight we gonna turn up with cold food, Con? All right. So, you know, all praise to the Most High for that. And we'll see y'all back here tomorrow for 4:30 class. Shalom to everybody online. If you want more information, please email us at believersoftheway144k@gmail.com. And we'll see y'all back here for 4:30 class. Shalom, family. All praise. Get the Most High here and clap all praise.